Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Secrets. This morning I was reading the Zohar, as I often do in the mornings, and I was reading from the Tikkunei HaZohar. The Tikkunei HaZohar, for those who are not familiar, are addendums or corrections. They're often referred to as corrections of the Zohar. But they are not to be misunderstood as corrections to the Zohar. They are corrections of the Zohar. Meaning what? These sections that were compiled after the main body of the Zohar was compiled represent 70 different explanations for the word Bereshit, for the first word of the Torah, of the Bible. Bereshit, loosely translated as in the beginning, which we know that's probably the last thing that it means, but 70 different interpretations of that word. Now, it's known among the Kabbalists that this body of text called Tikkunei HaZohar, or corrections of the Zohar, have the ability to correct a person's soul. And they may be, in fact, the most important section of the Zohar, perhaps. And it is customary to complete the 70 tikkunim, the 70 corrections between the new moon of Virgo and Rosh Hashanah. And it is said that anyone who does that, they'll not only have a good and sweet year, but it is, again, a corrective for the soul. Of course, anytime one reads from the Zohar, and if you can't read, you can at least scan it, it is a corrective for the soul. At any time, any section of the Zohar, any time of the year, at all, any day. But with that said, I was reading from the Tikkunim, specifically Tikkun 57, number 57. And they're numbered that way. Each one has a section, and Tikkuna Sheva V'Chamishin. Tikkun number 57. And it was speaking about angels, among other things. So I wanted to share some of the secrets of angels and what we need to know, how it pertains to us, this idea of an angel. What is an angel? And there are, we could probably start with a discussion of angels. Is the word angel itself in Hebrew is malach. Malach. It's 4 letters in Hebrew: Mem, Lamed, Aleph, and Kaf. Mem is 40 in numerology. Mem is 40. Lamed is 30. Aleph is 1. And Kaf is 20. So now if you add them up, what do you get? 91. Appropriate for Sukkot, because if you heard our class, 3-part class actually, but part 1 of Sukkot, and if you haven't, you can go back and in your YouTube, in my YouTube channel, and just check out from the past 3 videos, Sukkot part 1, 2, and 3. In Sukkot part 1, we discussed that the numerical value of Sukkah, the holiday that we happen to be celebrating right now, the word Sukkah, is 91 also. Different combination of letters, but still 91. And so we said over there that 91 represents 2 forces coming together. The spiritual realm, which is represented by the Tetragrammaton, the Yud Kei Vav Kei, the Shem Hashem, the Adonai name, and which is 26, and the Adni, Aleph Dalet Nun Yud, which actually spells out, or is the manifestation of of the Tetragrammaton, the Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's actually spelt Adonai, and that's 65. So when we bring the two together, 26 and 65, we get 91, which is a representation of the binding or the unification of the spiritual world, the source where we get our spiritual sustenance from the Creator, from the light of the Creator, and we bring it into the realm of Shekhinah, the divine presence, which means a manifestation in our world, or what's also known as Knesset Yisrael, the assembly of Israel, which also represents the totality of the souls of Israel. So it is the unification, and therefore we also learn in Kabbalistic teachings and writings that the purpose of anything that we do, any spiritual action, is to bring about unification. Now, certain things have that energy of unification, and just by connecting to those things, like in this time, the Sukkah itself, we connect to the force of unification. Unification means where sustenance now begins to flow. And that can be a part of our life. That sustenance can now be a part of our life in every form. Sustenance in financial terms, or in health terms, or in relationship terms. We need sustenance in every area of our life. So what does that have to do with angels? Angels are 91. The word for angel is also 91. Already that gives us a hint. You see how the Kabbalists made everything kind of simple for us? By understanding this idea of numerology or gematria, that we understand that if it has the same number, has to have the same kind of relationship. Meaning, if 91 represents unification of the spiritual and physical world, or the realm of potential and actual, so 91 also applies over there in this word angel. So that's the clue. What is an angel? An angel is assisting us to make manifest from the spiritual world to the physical world a particular force. And I want to read directly from the Zohar for you so that we can understand a little bit more and have a little bit more of a working knowledge how to use this and what to be careful about. Because, anytime there's power available, there's energy available, you also have responsibility, and you need to know how not to misuse it. So the Zohar is quoting from Genesis, from Bereshit, from Genesis itself. Bereshit Terei Sheva. It's talking about the vowels, and if you're not familiar with the vowels in Hebrew, it said the word Bereshit has 2 times the vowel Shva. Shva is 2 dots, one on top of the other, 2 dots. Hem shtei nekudot, shtei yetzirot. 2 different levels of creation. 2 different levels of creation. שנאמר בהן, ויצא השם אלוקים מן האדם כל חיית השדה ואת כל עוף השמיים, that it says God created from the earth all of the beasts of the field and all of the flying creatures, all the birds. ויבא אל האדם, and he brought them to Adam, to the Adam. Now we know in potential state, Adam includes male and female. We wouldn't want the ladies to feel left out. We know it says, Zacha unekeva barautam. They were inclusive of male and female. They had both in the potential before they were separated from each other, which is a bit of a hint that we spoke about the splicing apart that occurs in Rosh Hashanah when Adam was born. But we don't want to go there and confuse matters. So he brought them to the Adam, to Adam, to see what he would call them. Now, why would that be important? What he's going to call them? Well, it's extremely important. He brought them to the man to see ma yikra lo, what he would name them. Bo'e, come and see, the Zohar says. Kama neshamot v'kama tzurim tziyah kadosh baruch hu b'dmut hamekavot shel mala. All the different forms the Creator, the Holy One, created in the image of holy chariots, meaning whatever is in the celestial realm is created in the world below in the same image, as above, so below. Shehen chayot hakodesh shebnei adam yoshim mehem neshamot. There are holy beasts, and there are souls that are come about as the result of the human being, humankind. You know, we know that there's conception, and a soul enters into that moment of conception. There is a drawing down. There is pulling down a soul. Now, which soul? What kind of soul? Well, that depends on the parents and where they are, meaning where their head is at and what level of spiritual consciousness they're at that moment of conception, says the Zohar. ומביא הקדוש ברוך הוא את האדם בגלגול על כולם, לראות מה יקרא לו. And every incarnation, they are brought to the Adam, to the human being, to see what he'll call it. Now, when something is born, we know parents give their baby a name, right? Is it the name? Is it the parent's name? Well, according to the Zohar, yes, and maybe not. You know how the name gets into the head of the parents, another discussion. But nevertheless, the Zohar is telling us that the man and woman call something a name. But each name is given כפי הכוח שלמעלה שנאמר בהן המוצא במספר צבאם לכל שמות יקרא. Actually, what's happening is when we call something a name, it's according to, listen carefully, it's according to the spiritual force in the spiritual realm. Of course, we are not necessarily realizing this because we don't know where our thoughts come from. If we even think about it, you know, they come to our head and we think that our brain is, you know, juicing thoughts, you know, like our liver secretes bile. We think our brain kind of squeezes out thoughts. No, it doesn't work that way. The thoughts that we get don't originate with us. So these names come to us, whatever it is, the name of anything. But here he's talking about something specific. He's talking about angels. And he says, לכל חיה ומלאך ואופן קרא לו בשם ידוע. Every angel and celestial force has a very specific name. And that's known in the spiritual world. It's known. May not be known here on the physical plane, but it certainly is known in the celestial realm. לכל אחד מנקונתו בעבודתו ובמשמעתו. And how are they designated? How are they designated? Each one is designated according to his work. What does he do? What's his job? Because every angel has a very specific job. Let's read further. Boy, come and see. Adam ki makir kol malach va'ofen v'chayav asarav kol echad shahaya memune al shlichato. Each one is named according to his specific designation and what he was designated to do. So there's a designation, and every angel has a very specific designation and job that he is sent to do, and his name is according to that designation. Okay? His name is according to the designation. And the Zohar Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai gives examples. He's saying Adam knew all the names of all the angels. And he would call them by their names. Shekach מצאנו בספר רזיאל שניתן לאדם הראשון. שמתת קרא לו הקדוש ברוך הוא שמות רבים, לפעמים נקרא... Okay, now there are different names which I don't want to say because generally we don't say the names of angels unless they are popular, which I'll tell you what that means in a moment. But there is an angel named Raziel, and Raziel is his name, and he's already become a famous angel who gave a very specific book to Adam. It's called the Book of Raziel, and it's a book which contains all the secrets of the universe and names of angels and so on and so forth, which was given to Adam, and Adam understood all of these secrets. It's a very, very seed-level book of Kabbalah. Impossible to understand, but there are all kinds of names there and designations. Now, as an example that the Zohar has given, Raziel, in Hebrew, Raz means a secret. Okay? Raz, Resh Zayin, means a secret. The last part of every angel's name is El. So that's a godly force, El. So I'm going to say now Kel instead because I don't want to draw this energy without the specific purpose. We're learning. And so therefore, okay, it's okay. But I'll say Razikel. So this book means it's a book of secrets. Why? Because Raz means secrets. Kel is the godly force, and that's how an angel is put together. Its job in the physical world and its celestial force that it's given through the godly realm, the celestial power, which is the El at the end of the name. So the job in the physical world and its celestial force, its power. In other words, that's the juice that operates the angel. Oh, so now we can understand 91, because remember, 91 is the unification of what? Spiritual force in the physical world, manifesting spiritual force. And that's the purpose of an angel. So, he says, Lifamim nikra pat, different names, different types. An opener, a closer. So there's an opener angel. There's a closer angel. What do you mean opener? Bisman shehu open, he opens, because in Hebrew, liftoach means to open something up. Sagar means to close something. So there's an angel that opens the spiritual gates for prayer. There's an angel that closes the gates of prayer. There's an angel that assists with miracles. There's an angel that block those miraculous things. לכל שליחות ושליחות שלהם יש רגע ושעה ידועה ומזל ידוע ויום ידוע וכוכב ידוע. Amazing. For every shlichut, for every task that the angel is given to do, it is known. A known task, a known moment for that task, a known hour for that task, a known constellation which that task will take place in, a known star. It's all known ahead of time. When, where, how, exactly down to the nanosecond when that angel will be activated. There are also, we know the more popular angels, He said there's chasdi kel, maybe not that popular, in the time when there is mercy in the world, because chasdi kel, chesed means mercy, sharing, kindness. When that's the prevailing spiritual energy in the world, that angel is assisting to create that. Gavriel, which everyone's familiar with probably, Gabriel, the angel Gabriel, when there is judgment in the world, because Gevurah means judgment, Gavriel means the celestial force which brings about judgment. And there are destructive angels. There is an angel that seals merit for a person. When a person does a positive action, there's an angel that seals that into the DNA of a person. And the opposite, when a person does a negative action, there is an angel that can seal the negative action into the DNA of a person. God forbid. So from this we're learning, very powerful ideas that according, that what the Zohar is saying, there's different types of angels. Each one has very exact tasks, and each one has the purpose of bringing specific things from the spiritual world and bringing them down, unifying them into the physical world. That's what an angel does. There are different types of angels. Those that were mentioned in the Zohar here, and there are thousands and thousands and thousands of angels, are part of the main frame, shall we say, main frame of the creation. They are activated by us. They do certain things, and they're part of the main frame. Some people are familiar with the term archangels. Well, archangel like Michael, Gabriel, then there's Nuriel, there's Raphael, who's in charge of healing, right? The angel Michael, Michael, protection. So very specific angels, that's what they do. But there are other types of angels, and we may not realize it. But the secret here is when in Genesis it says, as the Zohar stated, that the Creator brought all the creatures before Adam to see what he would call them. What will he name them? Why? Why is that important? Because according to the name that Adam gave the creature, it also forms an angel. And according to that name, the thing became whatever he called it. That angel supplies the spiritual energy for that thing to become it. So if he called something a cow, he used the word whatever, cow, behema in Hebrew, a cow. The celestial force of angel is created to bring the spiritual energy of the Creator down and bring it into this world and to allow the cow to become cow. However it comes about in the physical world. And so too with everything. Everything. We don't understand that every word that we say creates an angel. Now, those angels, positive or negative, because there are negative angels and there are positive angels. Again, words are the extension of our thoughts. They origin in our thoughts. Thoughts are consciousness. Angels originate in consciousness and are manifest through words and action. according to the strength of our action, is the strength of the angel we create. When a person does charity with certainty, because they truly desire to help and assist and be a part of the Creator's light, to make a spiritual connection, because charity is a spiritual act. It's not only to help others, it's to bring about more spiritual light in the world. And when we do that, we do a very positive thing. But how sure are you? Do you say, I want to help you, but I'm not so sure. And I'll give. Okay. You feel bad about it? Well, your consciousness may not have been very, very strong. When we do any action with certainty, our angel is strong. We create a strong force. Again, how do angels come about? Again, not archangels, they're part of the mainframe. But other angels we create. And they come and they go. Okay? This is a different level of angels. Angels of our creation, and we're creating angels constantly with our words and actions. They are not necessarily forever. Okay? They are created by us and they are destroyed also by us. Or they wear down or they wear out. Because our action may not stay forever. Actions of charity, by the way, it says, does stay forever. Tzedakah omedet la'ad. It stays forever with a person. But again, actions, positive or negative, manifest energy. Every name, every word we use is an act of creation. We have the power of creation. What do we create? We create an angel that creates something in this world. The force of the consciousness that we put out manifests an energy on this plane, and then it comes about in the physical world, however it does that. If you think of a building, you're serious and your consciousness is strong about creating a building, then you're going to make a building, right? You're going to create that building. Eventually it's going to come about. How? Because you made an angel for it. So we create angels all the time. Are they always good? Unfortunately not. And this is where this is the danger zone. This is what we need to be careful of. What do we need to be careful of? Using bad names, cursing creates an angel, right? The anger that we verbalize creates angels. Calling people names, calling things that we do names. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Be very careful, because you're creating an angel, right? Oh, I made such a terrible mistake. Nothing is for no reason. Don't call it a mistake. Call it something else. Call it a positive name. Oh, there's a new opportunity here, because you'll create an angel that will assist you to make what you thought was a mistake, and you'll make it, you'll force the mistake to become an opportunity. You see, we don't understand the power of creation that the Creator gave us to do. That's what we were given. That's what we're supposed to do. What is tikkun? Correction. Correction means to take the negative forces and transform them into something positive in ourselves, in our life, in our environment, to transform. Our mouth and our actions are what we're here to transform. Yes,